Hey everyone, I'm Veronica Roth, author of the Divergent series. I'd love to answer some of your questions as we all get excited to see Divergent on the big screen in March. The scene I'm most excited to see is right now, because this changes, by the day. Right now is Four's fear simulations, all of them together. Because I think it will be a great scene for Tris 4 chemistry, which I've heard is awesome, and I've seen some of, which is great. But also, I'm really excited about seeing the simulations, and I'm curious to know how they did all of Four's fears. The movie cast is actually pretty close to how I think of the characters, not always in appearance. They each got the character so well, even if they weren't, a replica of the character that's on the page. And I think that's what's really important when it comes to casting, is to find someone who really understands how to get the essence of the character instead of, how to put in a contact lens or dye a hair strand or something. So I think the cast is wonderful. I think what Shailene has brought to Tris is just a real authenticity, like an actual teenage girl facing these actual problems, which is not easy to do when you're surrounded by these weird costumes, you're surrounded by this weird set that's, it's not grounded in the real world, but she manages to make it feel very real. I was on set on one very emotional day. It was like a very emotional scene. I don't want to say which one because I don't want to spoil anything. And just watching Shailene just really go for it. I mean, she just really went to like a dark place. And it was very intense. And I think I was more surprised by my reaction to it. I was sitting there, I was like getting panicky and like emotional when I was listening. I wasn't even watching because I was trying to edit Allegiant while I was sitting there. And it was very intense. So she's very good. Just put it that way. My emotions when I heard the book would be turned into a film, that's kind of hard to answer because there's no real point at which someone says to you, okay, it's happening right now. Like, it's really happening. And so it kind of happened in stages, because they have a script, but that doesn't mean the movie's gonna be made. And then they have a director, but that even doesn't mean that the movie's definitely gonna be made. Then they start casting, and that's when it starts to feel like, okay, this is really happening. And certainly when they cast Kate Winslet, it was at that point that I thought, I don't think Kate Winslet signs on to movies that aren't going to get made. My emotions at that point, I think, were the strongest that they've been. But I was just excited. I don't know. A little nervous. I mean, I think anytime something really big happens in your life, it's going to change your life in a dramatic way. And so I was nervous about that. But I was also just really excited to see someone interpret my work in a visual way.